happy 17th of December. Welcome back to my Vlogmas. I'm sorry for the delay in proceedings. However, I was not in a state that you would have wanted to witness, and it was not a week of my life I care to have documented or to remember. So it was best left unrecorded. But today is my mum's birthday, or Marmy as we call her, and my sister is cooking at hers. And I'm on dessert duty, so I have just whipped up a lemon meringue pie and then some little individual lemon meringue pies, which are my favourite. Just, I mean, in terms of cuteness, they're my favourite. They obviously taste exactly the same way. My brother unfortunately has COVID, so he can't join us at the party, but he is going to, I mean, he's feeling okay now, but he just doesn't want to bring everyone else down. And I am all for that approach, having just recovered from one thing. So he is going to drive by and pick up some pie and just say happy birthday from the doorstep. So the individual ones will be handy for that. So this recipe comes from one of my absolute favourite baking cookbooks of all time, which is the very first Great British Book of Baking from the TV series. This is, I would say, if you want to bake English style treats and desserts and bread, this is such a great book for all of those things. I have yet to make anything out of it that has not worked out beautifully, so highly recommend that one. This is what I'm making. This is something I've made for years and years and years. It's just a delicious tangy lemon meringue tart. I believe in America you guys have something, is it similar, lemon chiffon pie, which sounds beautiful. I think it's similar. I really like the name anyway. But yeah, so I'm just going to pop these into the oven now, and then I'm going to go and get ready, and we're going to go over to my sister's house to celebrate my mum's birthday. Oh, I'm going to show you her presents. When I was choosing what to make for this evening, I was considering this one because I just think it looks so beautiful and delicious. But I felt it was a little festive, and so I thought I would save that and do that as more of a Christmassy thing rather than a birthday celebration thing. We have 4 family birthdays in December in our family, so it's always a very busy month, but it's also trying to make them birthdays and not just sort of part of Christmas, especially my niece, who, bless her, is born on Christmas Eve. So yeah, I kind of try and stick away from the Christmassy things for the birthday celebrations. But anyway, so I think this is definitely on my festive make list. This is from this book, which is also a really amazing book, if you like pies and tarts, which I do. They are one of my favourite things to make. But yes, I think it looks amazing. It's got the recipe in here to actually make the jam, but you could also just use like really good quality shop bought jam, it says. So I may make it. I may use bon maman, because, you know, cannot really get any better than that stuff, I don't think. But anyway, so these are the little bits I'm about to wrap up for my mum. I ordered this one as a pre-order months ago, and to the point where I then got a real surprise when it arrived. But I was so glad it did, and that I'd thought about getting this for her because it's so perfect. This artist is, I just love her stuff so much. It just creates such a feeling, and it just makes me think of Little Women and coziness and loveliness. So I ordered my mum her calendar for 2023. So it's Robin Piates. I'm never sure how you pronounce that surname properly. But look at it. Look at the curtains blowing in the breeze, and it's just so cute. And the pies, which is actually funny because my sister's baking pie for dinner and I'm taking a pie for dessert. So it's the birthday of pies, but this is the different pages. Obviously it's in its, I don't want to take it out of its wrapping, so that's making it quite hard to show. I'm really sorry, by the way, about the dog barking in the background. He wants to get out and steal his sister's dinner, which I'm not going to let him do, so he's going to bark. I love it so much, and she will, I think, really love it. That reminds me a lot of the vegetable garden in a National Trust near here that we go to often. And the laundry line is just so cute. Love it. I'm also giving her this hot water bottle cover that I made using Jules's pattern, Jules of So Sweet Violet. Her pattern is for a hexy hot water bottle cover. So it's to do the hand patchwork like that and then make a hot water bottle cover out of it. But I just wanted to do a solid fabric. So I had some of this Liberty left over from a dress I had made, and I just knew my mum would love it as much as I do. I think it's such a gorgeous print. So yeah, I quilted it with a thin layer, a lightweight wadding, a lightweight cotton wadding, and just backed it with some patchwork cotton on the back. And then this is like a chambray, a viscose chambray trim that I made from some leftover sewing projects. So I also did a hand covered button, but I wanted it to really tie in, and because the batting behind this Liberty print was kind of a cream, it made the fabric a little bit of a warmer white than it actually is. And so I backed the fabric that I covered the button with a warm white patchwork cotton to get it to match, because it was looking oddly cold next to this otherwise. And I also wanted to add the quilting effect, so I did that, even though there's no wadding in there, because that would make the fabric far too thick for a self-covered button. But anyway, so yes, I'm hoping that she really, really likes this. Cannot have too many hot water bottles at this time of year, especially when you're trying to not use the heating too much. So hopefully it will come in very handy. So no, I'm going to wrap those bits up now and get them ready to take with me. Good morning, happy 18th of December. I am in my workroom. I just pulled down this plant to give her a water because she's getting a bit crispy around the edges. I'm not a very good plant mama, not indoor plants. I tend to leave them until they are screaming at me that they need attention. But she is such a stunning plant. She almost doesn't look real. Her leaves are like, they feel and look like thick rubber. She's really, really beautiful. So I hope I definitely got her in time, definitely, but I need to take better care of her really. So I was just going to show you Johnny's little cardigan. I have spent a large chunk of my morning searching for this little ball of yarn, which I've managed to lose. So I had run out of this main colour. I knew I wasn't going to have enough of it for the cardigan, which is why I did the pattern here in the paler of the bluey green. So you can see that's the pattern here. This in the pattern, it really should be a much more contrasting colour to the main body, but I wanted to work with what I had, and you can see again, a little bit of thread there. There's a touch of that paler colour here. So it's not contrasting enough for how the pattern's ideally meant to look. It's too contrasting to use in the place of the main colour. So when I realised I was getting very low on the main colour, I split what I had remaining after doing the button band, which with hindsight I should have done in the paler bluey green, but never mind. I split it into two with my jewellery scales so that I knew how, you know, when I was running out on the sleeve, I will have the same to do the other sleeve, if you see what I'm talking about. And then I had to kind of just get creative. So I morphed from the blue into the ivory and just reversed it. So I am now just about to pick up, oh, hang on one second. Sorry, Jack had an important question about Nestle Quality Streets. So yeah, anyway, I just want to pick up, I'm desperate to get this finished. I've picked out the little buttons. I'm not happy with how this looks, but the brilliant thing is Johnny won't care. I won't notice it when it's on him. He will not be fitting in this for the longest time, so it doesn't need to be perfect. And now I know I don't really care for sneaking. So, you know, it's brilliant. You always learn something with everything you do. So that's that little project update. I also wanted to show you this crochet blanket I'm working on, which I just cannot work out how I feel about this. So part of me thinks I absolutely adore it, and part of me just wants to rip it out and give up. And I just don't know what to do. So I think it looks lovely. I really like the fact that the crochet stitch doesn't really look like crochet. It kind of makes me, I just think it looks more like a woven fabric, which I really, really like. And I like the way the yarn looks in it. It's kind of different than it works up in other crochet. But I think what's putting me off is that it isn't as quick or as mindless as my granny stripe blanket to do. So I worked on that granny stripe blanket through lockdown. We were watching Ozark, Jan and I at the time, and that's a very gripping TV show that you need to kind of look at what's happening. And I know I can remember that I was doing that. I was crocheting away really, really quickly. The blanket grew really quickly, and I was watching the TV at the same time. And I just don't know that I'm ever going to get to that point with this particular type of crochet. I feel I have to really look what I'm doing the whole time, and that makes it less, what I want from a crochet blanket project. I want that mindless, don't have to look, don't have to think, because it's not enough. It's not like doing Fair Isle or lace knitting where it's that you're really absorbed in it and it's enough in and of itself, maybe with a bit of music in the background or something you don't need to look at. But it's not like a vanilla sock or the other type of granny blanket where I didn't really need to look. I don't know, maybe some of you know what I'm talking about here, but that's kind of putting me off. And it doesn't grow very quickly. It uses a lot of yarn, but because it's densely packed, you get like an inch for your 20 gram mini, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I don't have a good supply of yarn to use. And this would tie in, so far what I've done here will tie in really beautifully with our 2022 advent calendar. So that's, you know, that's definitely not a problem. but I just don't know. I'm on the fence. What do you think? It is creating a nice warm blanket. There's not lots of holes, which is a definite advantage over the granny stripe blanket, which is quite holey. So I do like that about it. I think it would be really, really warm. So maybe I will carry on. And maybe I will find that after a while, I'm not needing to look quite so much. Have you ever crocheted anything in a linen stitch? I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are, and did it get quicker? I'm about to show you the So Sweet Violet Knitters 12-day advent calendar. So if you have saved yours for the last 12 days of December and you don't want to have it spoilt, then close your eyes. So this was the advent calendar minus the pretty dangly bits, which my niece has pilfered. And we don't know where they are. So she ran off with those. So it came with this absolutely beautiful project bag, which is a Liberty Betsy in the most amazing corally pink. It's actually showing a little more orange on the screen right now than it is. It's more of a pinky coral. It's actually basically the exact match of our Pyrex colorway yarn, which is a colorway based on my vintage Pyrex collection. So it's that warm peachy pink rather than orange. But anyway, it's a beautiful fabric. Betsy is such a lovely print. And the other fabric that's with it is sparkly, which is just beautiful. So that's the bag, and it comes with this little flap for you to put a pin on. And then the advent came with this gorgeous enamel pin, which Jules has designed based on this fabric. So that will go there. And then you get a little Christmas coaster that matches. Isn't that gorgeous? With the way she's put the little Rick Rack trim in there. Some gorgeous scissors. I believe these are Merchant and Mills scissors. They're really, really beautiful. And then this absolutely stunning, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That little soap dish. So, so pretty. Ceramic. So gorgeous. And this is the yarn that I think it's Maya of the Wool Barn has dyed to match the fabric. So that was one day of the advent for the mini, which I think is just bare. And then this was the main skein. So yeah, that is my So Sweet Violet 12-day advent calendar. And my sister and I received such a lovely surprise. This was actually received the day that we were both at the studio, and it was delivered there. It was the day before the beginning of the end. So it was that Friday that I then, by 7 o'clock that evening, I was out with the bug. So I haven't had a chance to even properly enjoy this, put a project in the bag, or do anything like that. But I have now at least thanked Sandy. I'll stop rustling for a minute. I'm going to open up. I'm going to get what's in the bags out and then show you. So Sandy so kindly sent a gift for myself and for Jenny, and we knew immediately whose was going to be whose. So look at this. She sent us both these project books. So they're like a journal. So you put your project, the date, the tasks associated with it, and then it's faintly dotted on this side. I can't get it to show. It's just not focused. There you go. You can see the little tiny dots on that side, like kind of like a bullet journal has, I think. And then this side is blank. So you could put some sketches in, you could put in a swatch, a little bit of fabric, depending on what you're doing. I just think that is so lovely. And maybe even write like a little shopping list of any supplies you might need for that project, or say it was like a PDF pattern that you need to send it off and get it printed. Like, I think this is such a nice way to organize creative projects, especially when, like me, you have so many different outlets that, you know, there's just always something going on and other things in the pipeline and a massive queue forming of things I want to do. So I think that's really, really gorgeous. And it's this beautiful, lovely pine green hardback book. So she sent us both one of those, both a beautiful pair of scissors, which is just lovely. Look at the detail on those. They're so pretty. So that's so nice. So I now have 2 new little pair of scissors in my collection, which you can just never have too many. When you knit and you sew, there can never be too many little pairs of scissors around the place. And it came with this gorgeous little scissor tip, which I know Sandy also puts on the end of her sock needles as well, so you can use that interchangeably between the two. And then this was the project bag that I'm going to keep, and it's got Sandy's lovely signature neon corally stitching and little metallic, actually this little metallic tassel reminds me so much of the fabric on the So Sweet Violet project bag. And then peachy zip, and then this gorgeous sort of abstract print, which is so lovely. So that was mine, and Jenny's was all the same, but with one of Sandy's gorgeous bunny bags that, oh, so gorgeous, denim lined with this gingham. And now Jenny and I desperately want to order the rose gold metallic leather bunny bag from Sandy. I need to speak to her. I'm not sure if she ships to the UK normally, so I'm going to find out. Yes, they're so beautiful. So thank you, Sandy, and I hope you're feeling better. Sandy's also been struck down. Vlogmas comes at a very dodgy time of year for illnesses.